حضرت واصف علی واصف کی ایک مشہور کتاب جس کا نام کرن کرن سورج. ایک دفعہ میں لاہور گیا تھا. ایک ان کے شاگرد رشید سے ملاقات ہوئی تو انہوں نے کہا کہ ایک دفعہ مجھے واصف صاحب نے فون کی کہ آپ پہنچیں اور اپنے ساتھ ایک تلا ہوا مرغ بھی لے آئے. کہتے ہیں کہ میں نے وہاں ایک پکوڑے والے سے وہ مرغ تلوایا اور پیکٹ میں بند کر کے واصف صاحب کے گھر پہنچ گیا. انہوں نے مجھے چائے پلائی اور ساتھ ہی مرغ بھی کھایا, مجھے بھی کھلایا اور خود بھی کھایا. اس کے بعد انہوں نے فرمایا کہ میں ایک کتاب لکھنا چاہتا ہوں, اس لیے میں آپ کو ڈکٹیٹ کراتا ہوں اور آپ لکھیں. نہ ان کے پاس کوئی کتاب تھی, نہ کوئی کاغذ تھا, نہ کاپی تھی. وہ زبانی بولنا شروع ہو گئے اور یہ کہتے ہیں کہ میں لکھتا گیا 2-3 گھنٹے ہو گئے مجھے لکھنے میں. بعد میں دوسرے تیسرے دن میں نے اس کو کتابت کر کے ان کو پیش کیا کہ تاکہ اس میں غلطیاں دور کریں اور جو اضافہ کرنا چاہیں وہ کر دیں, ایک قسم کی ایڈیٹنگ. لیکن وہ کہتے ہیں میں حیران رہ گیا, ایک لفظ کا انہوں نے اضافہ نہیں کیا, ایک لفظ کو انہوں نے کاٹا نہیں, بلکہ جس طرح میں نے لکھا تھا وہی کہ وہی انہوں نے اس کو کہا کہ یہ ٹھیک ہے. بعد میں یہ کتاب چھپ گئی, غالباً اس کا نام کرن کرن سورج ہے. اس کا بعد میں ترجمہ بھی انگریزی میں کیا گیا, دی بیمنگ سول. ایک دفعہ انگریزی میں کیا گیا, واصف صاحب کو پسند نہیں آیا, پھر انہوں نے خود اس کا کچھ ترجمہ کیا. یہ میں اس سے کچھ چیزیں پڑھ رہا ہوں. We want our children to understand so much, but they don't. Our children also want us to understand so much, but we don't. What will be he who has no light in his heart? What will he who has no light in his heart gain from a festival of lamps? Not everything visible is perceptible, nor is everything perceptible visible. Islam is not the name of given to the body of Muslim knowledge, but to the pattern of Muslim behavior. In other words, Islam is not something to be talked, but something to be done. When the believer's light of joy goes out, the unbeliever's home is lit up with ceremonial lamps. People do not join us in our joy. Who will share in our sorrow? He who knows the secret of death is not affected by the vicissitudes of life, and he who knows the secret of life is not discouraged by the ravages of death. He who has come to know his self has come to know reality. If a king wishes to be near a fakir, it is his good fortune. But if a fakir wishes to be near a king, it is misfortune. What use is the knowledge which cannot bring peace to its possessor or satisfy his wants? One may pray for deliverance from such knowledge. Those who stole precious stones from historical buildings and royal palaces could not erect such buildings or palaces. A star looks beautifully only in the heavens. Topics do not evolve from phrases issue from the topics. That foolish wife who makes a slave of her husband is after all known as the wife of a slave only. The wise wife makes a guard of her husband and is herself called a goddess. Power creates fear. Fear produces hatred. Hatred generates revolt, and revolt shatters power. If you ask people about the golden period of their life, the reply will be that the golden period is already dead or is not yet born. But the fact is that the best period is our present. When one's own sight is weak, the brightness of others' faces grow dim. What is called the rose left abroad on the wings of fragrance. The rose is entity and the fragrance is the attribute. The entity is known by its attributes. No moment come twice. No moment come twice. No day came a second time. Neither the day of birth nor the day of death comes a second time. The concept of celebrating a particular day needs to be considered. Your fakr begins from your becoming harmless and is completed by your growing beneficent. Man's greatest wish is to please or impress everybody, and his punishment is this, that man will be neither impressed nor pleased. The Sindhi, Pashto and Punjabi languages should be made compulsory at the school level with a view to creating a sense of unity among the nation. The syllabi in English medium school and religious seminars should also be given the same footing. Otherwise, the situation will remain the same as it is. The biggest question is that the answer is to which is with the questioner himself. How to help the blind man who stumbles at every step but is not prepared to admit that he is blind. The laughing one said to weeping one, "Why you are weeping?" He asked in reply, "Why you are laughing?" "I am laughing at your tears," he answered. The other one sighed and said, "It is your laughter that I weep over." In the vast ocean of humanity, every man is as lonely as an island. Man reaches out as much in the service of his fellow man as he rises toward Allah. The virtual journey is directly proportional to the horizontal journey. Reality is like your reflection in mirror. You go near, it comes near. You step back, it shifts back. You move aside, it moves aside too. Man of knowledge is proud because he knows so much. Man of wisdom is humble because he knows no more. While knowledge prides itself on the known, wisdom worries its head, trying to discover the unknown. If the man of knowledge becomes conscious of his ignorance, he can step into the realm of wisdom. Rather than talk about the person of your benefactor, describe the blessing he has showered on you. You had better not sin, but the best is not to let any man be a witness to any of your sins. Every face is the same, one face. If your tile is without prayer, looking forward to its result is delusion. If the arrival of a person has not given delight, how will his departure cause distress? That which leaves you with no question is a thing that has no answer. Only the country of our beloved is our beloved country. No path is easy to tread without a taste for travel. Your love for the characterless person can reform his character. He who showers delight on others sometimes happen to shed tears in loneliness. The disciple who first accepts someone as guide and then speaks ill of him is false and ill-starred. He who talks against his teacher is deprived of knowledge. Every man praises the life of others and disparages his own, yet no one is willing to give up his life, howsoever inferior it may be. Why mention the son who is recognized only through his father? You have as much right over Allah universe as you give him in your personal universe. What greater misfortune can there be than this, that some of the events in our history we cannot mention, but the future historian who will follow us will certainly mention them, as in his account we will also be discussed. Do you know what the future historian will say about you? Islamic society means the Muslim way of life. A shepherd aware of the conditions of his flock is far better than a king who is unaware of the state of his subjects. Why inquire after the health of that goat which has seen a lion in a dream? There is no moon in the moonlight here, and there is no moonlight on the moon there. Everything that happens in the universe affects every man in some way or other. One man's death is another man's grief. We learn from what others have written. An invention of someone can be beneficial to everyone. Every man is related with and interdependent on every other man. The knowledge of necessity is one thing and the necessity of knowledge another. Pray that your inner self be as beautiful as your outer self. The word is ancient, but it has not lost its newness. What is your age? It is not what is past, but what is yet to pass. An incompetent leader complains against his colleagues and followers. If you love to be called the sun, produce and spread light without complaining against your rays. Success is not the achievement of a stray aim. Success is the achievement of that particular aim, other than which are beyond which there would be no aim. Someone asked, what use is rain? The reply was, my field is watered. He asked again, what harm does rain do? The reply now was, my brother's field is watered too. The very situation which is common men regard as a situation for patents and resignation for men of the Lord. The same situation is the cause of gratitude. When vultures begin to hover over cities, then lives of citizens are in danger. For a vulture detects the dead from well afar. Men cannot love obstructions and ideologies. Men can love men alone. The sky, as we see it, is the furthest limit of one view, and the stars are not as they appear in our eyes. You can attain to a knowledge of truth in the same land, in the same age, and in the same language which Allah has made yours by birth. Do not commend the person whose hereafter does not seem commendable to you. Life is a shady, fruit-giving tree, ceaselessly swung by the saw of breath. None knows what may happen when. If a house is on fire, it is not your duty to put out the fire before undertaking research on its causes. Satan did not accept man. Allah crushed Satan and dismissed him from his presence. Allah called man's enemy his own enemy. Now if man makes friends with Satan, it is greatly to be deplored. The mentor who satisfies your desire is one, and the mentor who liberates you from desire is another. Charity in the name of Allah helps man. Expenses in the way of Allah helps man. The zakat helps man. What is advanced as good debit to Allah is given to some men. The name of Allah is Allah, but the ends are men's. Man spends and helps man, and Allah is pleased and remains gracious. The point is that to please Allah and to seek His approval, you are to be at the service of men. You are complaining against a friend who betrayed you. Complain about your intelligence. Rather, for you look a cheat a friend.